Well, we'll quickly try to sum up for you as to how global markets are doing early this Wednesday morning, as well as how they performed on the second day of the new year 2022. The Dow continued to rise. It rose to a new record high for a second day in a row. It rose over 0.5% in trade, so strong rise over there. But the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq were weighed down by tech stocks. The tech sell-off was largely on the back of rising yields. Bond yields have risen up sharply over the last couple of days. They are up almost 14 basis points in the last 2 days, which is over from Monday morning till today morning. And that will be bad news for growth stocks as well as for tech stocks. So the tech basket saw a bit of a sell-off, which saw the Nasdaq fall by around 1.3%. in trade. The S&P though was largely flat, in fact traded with a negative bias, down 6 basis points at close. When we look at what will be the key themes for 2022 at the outset, it looks like inflation and monetary policy. Clearly increasing interest rates are spooking investors within the tech basket, definitely. Moving on to how Europe's looking. European indices hit record highs as momentum in the markets continued. The FTSE, CAC as well as Stock 600 index hit their individual record highs. So strong numbers for Europe. The DAX was up around 0.4% in trade. The FTSE was up 1.63%, so sharp increase there. The CAC 40 up over 1/3%, and the Stock 600 too was up around 4/5%. So good gains across Europe in trade on Tuesday. Moving on to Asia. Asian indices other than the Shanghai closed broadly flat or in the green. The Nikkei and the ASX 200 were both up over 1% in trade yesterday. Moving on to how they're looking today, the handover from the US seems to have flown straight into Asian indices in early trade today. When we look at all indices, they're pretty much in the red other than the Nikkei, which is marginally holding on to a 4 basis point gain. When we look at the Shanghai, it's down 0.6%. The Hang Seng is down over 1%. So is the Kospi, and the SGX 200 is down around 0.25% in early trade today. The SGX Nifty is also looking lower. It's down 0.4% in early trade. What's happening in the commodities basket? OPEC Plus set to increase its oil output from February, and that will mean that hopefully oil prices start leveling off. However, at the moment, oil prices continue to rise. They've breached the $77 a barrel mark. Gold prices also rose slightly. Mind you, I did speak about how bond yields went up by almost 15 basis points. That's not really impacted gold as much, it seems. Gold is now at around $1,815 an ounce, and it's holding smartly above that US dollar 1800 mark. So that's quite an interesting space to look out for. The dollar index gained, of course, with bond yields going up, the dollar index has also proportionately gained. It's at around that 96.3 mark. And the US 10-year treasury yields, which have been in focus over the last couple of days, are at the 1.65% mark. And that's a sharp increase that we have seen. Bitcoin continues to hold out above the $46,000 US mark as we speak.